Welcome to the demonstration for Manage Indexes Verify. This demonstration reinforces the concepts covered in Lesson 11 of the Enterprise Vault 10 for Exchange Administration course. In this demonstration, we will use the Manage Indexes tool, the Verify feature. This demonstration affords the student the opportunity to investigate and utilize the Manage Indexes and Monitor Indexing Task tools. So we're starting off on our Enterprise Vault server, which is EV Server 2. We have the Vault Administration Console open, and what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and click on our indexing node, just to show you that we have the index volume summary whenever you click on the indexing node. And it shows you the number of status, offline, 32-bit, and 64-bit indexes that are running. Also, we have the option of starting the Manage Indexes from this location, as well as monitoring the Indexing Task Tool Start button at this point as well. But we're going to start it for this particular demonstration from a different location, which is going to be the Common Tasks Launchpad. So I'll come up and select my site, EV Site 1. That brings up our Common Tasks Launchpad. We will expand the index management function, and you can see that we have both the options to manage indexes wizard and to monitor the indexing tasks. We're going to launch our manage indexes wizard from this point, so I will click on that. And again, in this demonstration, we'll be looking at verify. In later demonstrations, we'll be doing synchronize, change location, and rebuild. So we'll go ahead and click on our verify option. You get a summary here about what the verify is going to do for us. So we'll go ahead and select our next option. And then we have to add what we want to verify. And we've got different choices for selecting that when we use our add dropdown. We can do it based upon the archive name, the index location, or the index volume. Now, if you select archive or index volume, you will not be able to add in the index location. We'll see that here in a moment when we come back to add an index volume as part of our search. But we're going to start searching by archive or adding items by archive. So I'll go ahead and select the archive option. And the archives that we're going to go ahead and add, let's see, we'll add Davina Gilman, Dick Baker, and we might as well add in Diana Palmer here. And then we just go ahead and click our add button. And now they show up in our selected items. And so we can come over and click our OK button. Now we also would like to add one based upon the index volume. So I'll come back to my add button and open my drop down. And notice that because I do have archives in my list of items to verify, that the index location option is no longer available. That's what I was mentioning earlier. But we do have the option of selecting index volume. So I'll go ahead and select that. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and come up here and add another option here for searching for index volumes. I'm going to add the online option. And then I can go ahead and click search. And it gives me a listing of all the online items. And I'll go ahead and scroll down because the one that I wish to add is for my journal archive. So I'll go ahead and click my add button, and then I can click OK. And I now have the summary here that I'm having 3 archives, 1 index volume. So I can go ahead and create my task. And you can see that it's in the process of creating the task. And here I'm back into my Monitor Indexing Tasks option. You can see that the name of the task is Verify. Tells you the type of Verify, when it was created, whether it's active, not active, successful, unsuccessful, and it gives you a status of when the subtasks are completed. Well, we'd like to go ahead and see the subtasks. So I'll just go ahead and click on the task name here, and you can see that it does expand out the individual subtasks under that task. And we had discussed that concept in the lesson when we were using the Managing Indexes tool of having the subtask and subtasks for each one of the individual items that we're searching or verifying on. So here I'm going to go ahead and check the Vina Gilman, and it does look like it has completed processing with no missing items, no extra items, and no errors. So we can see some more details about that by clicking on the Vina Gilman, and it opens up the Indexing Verify report. And you can go through, and one of the things we want to look at here is notice that as one of the first things that it did as part of this process of verification is it set the index volume to read only. Then it goes through and does additional checks, and if I scroll down you can see the other checks that it does, and the verify summary, basically what we saw in the dialog box, and it has completed, and then it sets the index volume back to read write, and it was successful and reported with no issues. So then I can go ahead and close my report, and then I can go ahead and click OK. And just to save time, I'm not going to open up Diana Palmer's and Dick Baker's, but you can see that they also found no missing items, no extra items, and there was no errors. But I do want to look at the Journal Archive report just to see what it looks like. So I'll select the Journal Archive report. And here's my summary of the items. And I'll go ahead and click my Open Report file. And again, you can see that it places it in read only. You can see the details about the index volume itself. I can scroll down, see that it went through a variety of different items looking for the sequence number, whether anything was missing from the index, if anything was orphaned. Now, in this particular dialog box, because it's tab delimited, these columns really don't line up with the titles. You'd have to open it in a spreadsheet or go through and set it up to get everything aligned a little bit, because we really can't see if anything was missing or orphaned, because that's kind of over here off to the side. But it did find 394 indexed items. Looks like everything was okay. Placed our volume back into read-write, verified that the subtask was complete, and it reported that there was no issues. So I can go ahead and close my report. Go ahead and click OK. And then we're going to go ahead and close the Monitoring Indexing Task dialog box. And what we're going to do is we're going to see that now that we've created that one task to run, that verified task, that we now have a new task under our Enterprise Vault servers. So we'll come up here under our Enterprise Vault server and select Tasks. And you can see that we have a new task that hadn't been there before, which is the Index Administration task. If I select that task and go to its properties, you can see it has a task name. The startup type has been set to automatic, and we can set up a schedule for when it runs. By default, it runs during the day. You typically do not want the index administration task to be doing either the verify, upgrade, change location, rebuild, or synchronization tasks that go along with the Manage Indexes tool while you're doing archiving. And you typically have your archiving set up for at night. However, for the purposes of this demonstration, we want to go ahead and set it up to be for the rest of the day. So that's click and drag, and so it runs all day long. And I'll go ahead and click OK. And it gives you a warning that this task may not take effect until I've restarted the task. So I'll go ahead and click OK. And I'll come up and right click on my Index Administration task, select Restart. And in our environment, it actually restarted fast enough that we didn't see it go through the starting and stopping process. And that brings us to the end of this demonstration.